As we all know, Africa is still in full development. But did you know that 33% of all countries that are in development are in Africa? So that's around 60 countries, which is more than half of, almost half of Africa's total amount of countries. I think that the charities could help this easily with the aspects that I will be talking about today. And I'll be talking about wealth and nourishment first. Talking about employed people that are still in the international poverty line, and undernourished people. As you can see here, more than 26% of people that are working and have their part in society are still under the international poverty line, which is an absurd number, and it shouldn't even exist. As you do your part in society, society should provide at least a bare minimum to be able to provide and nourish your family. This is a direct cause for the 1/5 of people in Africa that are undernourished. So that's like around 20%. It's 18% to be exact, but this is still a way too high number. I think if we can get more stores in the Western world to make charities and to do actions to buy food for people in Africa, this is something that can be battled very easily. Next up is health and education. I'll be talking about adolescent birth rates and schooling. 1 in 10 in the average amount of out of 1,000 women in the world, only 43% of them have a child before their 20s. In Africa, this is more than double. This is insane, and I think there's something to be done about anti-conception, which is something that can easily be battled along with the food that we would send to them. Along with this, only 63% of all births are attended by a skilled health personnel. I think if we can school at least one person in each village to be somewhat capable of bringing a child to earth, that would help these numbers, and it would help the infant deaths and also the maternal deaths with birth. Last up is the education part. Only 26%, so 1/4 of the children in Africa, have a minimum proficiency level in reading and mathematics, when the second last continent is America, which is over 50%. It's really absurd to think that we can help these people when they can't even school themselves, as they cannot read and do maths. I think if we can help more with schooling, and not only building schools but go there to school them, that would really help them, as they would be able to help themselves. We have to change their lives first before they can help change their continent. Okay, so for the technical part, how I went around it was I looked to all the indicators that I had here. And for example, I used proportion of births attended by skilled personnel, as you could see in the charts. I'd go to the exported Excel file from the data, and I'd search for the dataset and its code. And then in the project itself, I'd go, for example, here. To find that data, I would use something like this. Here, for example, I use to find all the developing countries in Africa. I'd divide the developing countries in to get a percentage. I divide all the developing countries in Africa, divided by all countries in the world minus the countries in Africa. So that would leave you with this amount. And then here, for example, this is how I got to this data. Get the average of series code SIPOV-EMP1, which is the code of the dataset that I used. And I'd use region name Africa, and that would give me this, this data. And then I'd always use a limit. For example, here I'd use the last 10 years. And this is how I worked with each graph. And then to find valuable data, I would just look around and look for indicators that I really liked. So my target audience would also be charities that want to help Africa in a way, and I thought that this was a very doable aspect of helping the people in Africa, and a way that would be easily to do for normal people, so that the actions to take for normal people and the money that has to be spent can be reasonable. Thank you.